Welcome back to Apex Alchemy. Today I want to talk to you about a Hinderer XM-18 3.5. So this knife, let's go over some measurements first. Got a 3.5-inch blade, obviously, about 8¼ inches overall. Yeah, right at 8¼ inches. Closed, it'll be 5 7/8 or so. Okay, this knife is built very well. This specific knife is in battle black. I think I sprayed some perfume on it. I'm not sure what that is. It's an accident, I suppose. Slicer, tri-way, battle black, black G10. Got the black hardware as well. In this configuration, it's pretty hard to find. I've done some searching around. Can't really find another one exactly like it on the market, on the secondary market. But you know how it goes, man, with Hinderers. Hinderers are kind of hard to find anyway. On the secondary market normally. I was informed by one of my buddies that this thing, that they dropped some more, and within 15 or 20 minutes they were just completely sold out. So it's kind of cool to to have it, because it's hard to get a hold of it, I suppose. But I guess that'd be about the only reason. I mean, not that it's it's not a bad knife. I don't want to give any kind of wrong impressions. It is a very nice knife, and I've got everything that it came with when it came to me. I got it off the secondary market as well. That's going to be missing one phosphor bronze washer, but it's a very standard size. It's 15 thou. So it's not a modular washer or anything. Any 15 thou phosphor bronze washer will fit. I may even have an extra one around here. Going over all that stuff because I may trade this thing off. I'm not sure yet. I do like it. Very nice knife. Solid as a rock. No back and forth play at all. A great action. It will drop shut. Flipper works just fine. I do prefer the thumb studs on this knife over the flipper personally, but anyway, the black G10, very grippy, but not like a Spyderco PM2 grippy, or I guess any other kind of Spyderco with G10. It's a different kind of grippy. Well, this one's not that grippy anymore, but it used to be. It used to be very grippy. But it's worn down a little bit with carry. But I guess we can use that as a size comparison knife. Right there with it. And so that makes this knife like extremely my size, I do very much enjoy that size of knife. But I'm having trouble justifying ownership when it is a hard knife to come across. It's a hard knife to get a hold of, and I'll pick these two every day over it. And why is beyond me. It's beyond me. I'm just an 80-15 fan, and I love my Chavez, and I like the 80-10 as well. And I'll pick those three over just about anything else that I have. And I'm grateful for the things that we do have around that we've been able to check out and play with and stuff. But this titanium frame lock, very well built knife. You got your it's very similar to the 0562, but the 05 that's a ZT model if you're not familiar. But it's got all the Hinderer stuff, like the filler tabs for the pocket clip if you want to replace it. Go up and down on the right side only. But like the 0560. To me, which would be it's right in between an XM-18 and an XM-24. So I suppose the 0560 would be like an XM-21 if they were going to split the difference and name it something. If it was like an XM anything, it would be an XM-21. And I need to have one here to do the size comparison for that. I really do. But I keep mine and my brother's schedules keep interfering with each other's, and he's the one that has that knife now. So you'll just have to take my word for it. The 560, or you don't have to take my word for it, but if you've never experienced a 560, It also has a G10 scale and titanium frame lock. It has the filler tabs, and it doesn't have as good of a pivot. The pivot on this thing is far superior. But other than that, just about everything that I know about, the detent might not be as good. The over travel stop might not be as good, and I'm talking about on the ZT. But other than that, it's a pretty functional knife, and it's I guess it's just a little bit more my speed. It offers just a little bit more handle, and not that I need it. This thing feels great in hand. It's very sharp. Let's not take my word for it. This little piece of copy paper slices just fine. It does its things, and it does its things well. Don't take points away from it for the user errors, but it's sharp. It's fine. Get that cleaned up. Throw it on the scale. The scale says it is 5.5 ounces, roughly. It looks like it's bouncing between 5.4, 5.5. It's pretty stable at 5.5 now. Units. That's 154 grams. So to me, it's not a heavy knife, but to some folks it will be. It way breaks the rules of the inch per ounce or whatever. A lot of people like to see 1 ounce per inch. I'm not one of those types of guys. Weight doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I prefer to have a little bit more. But the Hinderer has been a pleasure to have around. We're talking about the jimping. Is God mode. It's really, really, really good jimping, and I can definitely see why people go crazy about these knives. I really can. I think I'd prefer the flipper really doesn't get in my way. Like I don't really care if it's down there in the pocket doing like bumping up against stuff. That doesn't bother me a bit. But I do prefer. I think I like the looks of the aesthetics of the non-flippers, but with still having the finger choil. If you've seen those models, those are that might be my ideal model. Flipper deletes aren't hard to do. I wouldn't do it on this knife. Talk about the hardware. You got a flathead screwdriver on the pivot. You got Phillips screwdrivers on the pocket clips. What size is this? T8? A T8 for the body screws. And for that, it looks like it's a T6. I may be wrong, but that's what it looks like. So we have a T6. We'll check out that detent. Yep, it's going to be a T6. So you need a lot of tools to disassemble this thing. Not to mention this proprietary thing here, which I have seen Rick do a video where he said that's it's not necessary to have the toolkit. You just unscrew this, and most of the time that's fine. Like you just keep a little bit of pressure back here. That's that would be up to the user, I suppose. But right now it's running on the bearings, and the bearings are very smooth on this thing. Like let's see if we can just let it drop shut. Yeah, it's like the flipper just kind of gets in the way of that, happening all in one nice swift movement. But Hinderer's nice. It really is. It's nice, but it's I don't know. There may just maybe something else out there that's more me. But I'm thinking about putting it up for trade, taking offers, looking at Striders. I think maybe S&G or something to that extent. You just let me know if you got anything. That I'm all ears. I do like the knife. I just don't think it's going to be something that I'm going to carry a lot. But I've very much appreciated having it around and being able to check it out. It's not hurting anything here. You know how that goes. But it's probably just going to get skipped up a lot. So anyway, that's going to be my standalone video of the Hinderer. If I do get a chance to get the 560 in and do a side-by-side comparison of them, I definitely will. I think the hardware on the 560 is pretty similar to the hardware on this one, but don't quote me on that. With it being a ZT, probably has a at least a T8 pivot. It may be a flathead screw. I can't remember, but if we get that knife around at the same time that we had this knife around, I will do a comparison video because I think it's worth it. You guys have a great one, and we'll catch you on the flip side.